There are some massive changes coming to the Pokemon trading card game, and we need to talk about them. Hey, Nick from 9Card TCG, and today we're going to be talking about some of the updates that are coming for the Pokemon trading card game when Scarlet and Violet releases. Now, Scarlet and Violet is slated to release on March 31st here in the US and the rest of the world. Japan's going to get it in on January 20th, I think. So, a little bit of a delay. We were kind of hoping that the sets would be synced a little closer. Seems like that's not happening, but there are some other very important changes, and we're going to talk about one's aesthetic, and the other is a ruling. And the aesthetic matters a little bit. I think it actually cleans up the card a little bit. I think it makes it a little easier to find where cards, we'll talk about it, right? And then the other is ruling, but we have to talk about the changes to how the cards look before we talk about the ruling, so it makes a little more sense. Anyway, before we get into it, if you haven't already, do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. Tells YouTube this is a good channel, people should watch it, alright? Now, let's take a look at some of these cards. So, this image is coming to us from the Pokemon Trading Card Game Press website, and there's a little bit of stuff we need to talk about here first. If you notice, this is Professor Turo, so Professor's research is getting reprinted. If you look at the bottom left, you'll see that this is G block. So the next set, Scarlet and Violet, will start G block. That's important for rotation. We'll briefly mention that. And the first thing I want to mention is that the top of this card is now different. It sees trainer in the top right, supporter top left. It's a little bit more visible. It's a little bit more noticeable as to what type of card this is. So all the trainer cards are going to look like this. It'll say supporter, item, stadium, and tool, and we'll get to that. That's kind of important. And then the other thing that's happening, if you've been playing the Pokemon trading card game for a while, it's the first thing that should stick out to you, and that is there are no more yellow borders. We have silver borders just like they have in Japan. So that's, for me, really exciting. I think the silver borders make the cards look just a little more sleek. It takes away some of maybe like the childish, cartoony aspect away from them, which some people do like. Me personally, I don't. So having this like nice silver gray border makes the card look so much better. And there's another aspect of the card that is changing, and that's this bottom left. So as you can see, right next to the rotation mark, what's called the regulation mark, this G, we used to have a symbol there. It would be whatever. For Sword and Shield, it looked like, two wings or whatever they're supposed to be. Darkness Ablaze was like 3 arrows or whatever. It was just a random symbol to signify what set that came from. But if you're a new player and you just look at a card and you're like, oh man, I want to, you see it online, you see it on a website, whatever, YouTube, Twitch, and you're like, oh man, I want to get this card, where can I get it? You don't know what the set symbols look like, so you don't know what to search. You just search for like, this actually happened in Discord, in the Pokemon trading card game Discord. Someone was asking about Shadow Rider Calyrex V. They wanted to include it in a deck because they're a Mew. Okay, fine. So they're like, oh, it's this one, right? Like, they didn't know how to express which Shadow Rider to get. So they're like, oh, is it this one? I'm like, no, that's the promo. You need the one from Chilling Reign. But they don't know. They might not know what the Chilling Reign symbol looks like. So now we could just say, oh, no, it's the one from SV1. And now they know, okay, SV1 Shadow Rider. They just search that and you find it. So I think this is a very good change. I really like this a lot. The rule, I don't know, maybe just because the card's blown up, but the supporter rule, like you may only play one supporter, looks a little bigger. At the very least, it definitely looks a little more vibrant, which I kind of like. So, big changes to how the card looks. I'm sure a million people have already talked about this and made videos about it yesterday, but cool. So, what we need to talk about, though, is the ruling that is changing. And I don't think it's the most impactful ruling in the world. I do think it's important, and it will impact cards, and it kind of gives you an idea of, well, why don't we just look at it? So the rule, instead of just beating around the bush, says that tool cards will no longer be a subset of items. At the moment, tools are item cards. So we have 3 types of trainers. You have supporters, items, and stadiums. And within items, tools are a subset, but no longer. Going forward, with the release of Scarlet and Violet on January 20th in Japan, and very likely on March 31st here in the rest of the world, tools will be their own separate category, and that does apply retroactively to all other tools. Now we can see Rocky Helmet is getting a reprint, fine, whatever, but they kind of bring it up, make it a point to show this, this purple text, which probably says Pokemon Tool. I don't speak Japanese or read Japanese, but it's likely Tool, because if this is supporter on the English, then this is probably Tool here, and then this is going to say trainer. So it's nice because they all have their own category, like own color system. You can see that on supporter it's orange, in tools it's purple, in stadiums it's green, and items I believe will be blue. So you can, without even knowing it's a tool, just the color coding alone is kind of nice. You can still see that we have that same regulation mark and the same, SV1, so cool. That's really interesting. And so because tools are no longer item cards, something like an Irida, you play Irida and it says search a deck for a water Pokemon and an item. At the moment, you could get, say, a Rocky Helmet, an Air Balloon, a Choice Belt, whatever. Or you can get like a Quick Ball, Battle VIP Pass, regular items. When the new rule takes effect, you will no longer be able to get that Choice Belt that you might need for a KO off of something like Irida. You're not going to be able to get that Air Balloon off Mysterious Tail Mew. Things like that. Now, if you were to play, say, a Shady Dealings that says search a deck for any trainer card you want, well, tools are still trainers, just like supporters, just like items and stadiums. So you could get a tool card off of, say, a Shady Dealings or something that says search for a trainer. So cool. And the reason why this is, it seems like they're going to be doing something with tools, right? Either, I could be totally wrong, right? This could be nothing at all, and they might just want to separate out the tools from items to make it a little more clear about tools and like what they are, or they're going to be giving us cards that are tools, and they don't want to be able to search them super easy with an Irida, and now it's like, okay, we get this really powerful tool, really impactful tool, super easy for free, turn 1 of the game. So I don't know if they're going to be giving us something like that. Maybe there's maybe there's going to be a Terra Orb tool card. Maybe there's going to be something that like attaches to your Pokemon. It becomes the type of the energy you attach to it. Maybe it's going to become this a particular type. I don't know. It seems like they're going to be giving us something, but I could be very wrong. It could just be that they want to make it clearer for everybody. And it's easier to have 4 categories of trainers than have 3, and one of them has a subset. So that's the rule. Again, starting on the release of Scarlet and Violet, most likely, tools will no longer be item cards. They will be their own separate type of trainer, and that applies retroactively to all currently existing tools. So that's just like the new rule. So you'll have to keep that in mind when you are playing a deck that uses Irida and Choice Belt. You won't be able to get Choice Belt once this rule takes effect in your region. It is also worth noting that energy cards will look a little different. You can see that it's a little bit more clear that it's an energy. It's a basic energy, tells you exactly basic grass energy. It also has this SV1 set logo on the bottom left, and then it has on the bottom a second energy marker, just again to make it very clear to everybody looking what is happening. And so energies are a little bit different, and there is something worth noting, that the prices of cards are going to be going up. The prices of packs are going to go from $3.99 to $4.49, but they do say that, and I'm going to read this direct quote. You can read this from PokeBeach. I'll have a link to it in the video description. In an effort to continue providing a positive Pokemon TCG experience and value, each pack of Pokemon cards will now feature 3 guaranteed foil cards per booster, and that's booster pack. All cards with a rarity of rare or higher will now be foils. So, no more will there be non-holo rares. You will not get a non-holo rare in a booster pack with Scarlet and Violet anymore. I think that's fantastic. You're going to get 3 foil cards. Now, I don't know if it's like 2 reverse foils or 2 reverse holos and a foil card. I don't know if you're going to get like 1 reverse. I don't know what when they say foil, I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's going to be like 3 holo foil cards like you would get, like, say, I don't know, what's a holo foil card from like a random set, like Entei from Battle Styles, I think it was holo foil, just a random thing, you know, or the stones, the Forest and Earth and Steel stones are holo rares. Are they going to be like that kind of foil? Are they going to be full textured foil cards? Are they going to be reverse foil? We don't really know. They don't explicitly say what, like, the foil pattern, but I still think it's, I will gladly pay 50 cents more per booster pack if it means the contents of that pack are better and it's more fun to pull, it's more exciting. You know, you don't have to worry about all these dud packs in, you know, in your booster box or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, eventually a lot of these holos will not matter. They're not going to be particularly expensive because everybody's pulling them just like you would non-holo rares, but it's still, I think, for everybody of all ages, maybe someone who's just getting back into the game, maybe younger kids, people who are opening the set for the first time, it's exciting to have like all this stuff happening in a booster pack for 50 cents more. And also, they want to say that in addition, certain products will come with additional items. For example, Elite Trainer boxes will now include an additional booster pack and a full art promo card. Now, they don't say if the booster, like the ETB price goes up. They didn't say they're normally $40 or like $50 or something like that. They don't mention price increases for ETBs or products, what the MSRP for, like, you know, booster boxes are going to be. But ultimately, they are going to give us a little bit more, and they're doing this as you know, says right here, due to global inflation impacting the cost of materials and production. Pokemon TCG products will see varying MSRP increases in select markets with the launch of Scarlet and Violet. So they don't tell us what products; they just say select. That's, you know, varying MSRP, whatever. It's not important. I am willing to pay a little bit more if it means the value of what I'm getting is better quality. It's going to be more interesting and exciting to open. Overall, I am very, very happy with a lot of these changes. So there you have it. Cards are going to be looking different, they're going to be priced differently, but the packs are going to be containing more and better things, and a new rule. So kind of covered a little bit more than I expected in this video, but a lot of stuff has happened. And if you're ever wondering, like, why doesn't Nick post a video about something the day it releases? Because sometimes we get more information, and I like to take a little bit of time to think about it. How do I feel? How do other people feel about it? And kind of gauge community reaction. So far, everybody seems extremely happy about all of these changes, and even including the price changes. I think most people would be okay paying 50 cents more for 3 foils per pack or something like that, including parents, right? Like, if you're going to open this, buy this for your kids, well, if you buy the 1 pack and you get them, you know, 50 cents more to guarantee they're going to get a holo and they get excited and happy, who would not pay that? I would gladly. Anyway, so that's everything. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. Tells YouTube this is a good channel and people should watch it. And let me know what you want to see next. But for now, I will see you next time.